This episode is brought to you by Allstate. Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check the date of the big game first before you accidentally buy tickets on your 20th wedding anniversary and have to spend the next 20 years of your marriage making up for it. Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Savings vary. Terms apply. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Northbrook, Illinois.
All right, man, so some news for the run. Starting off, I would kind of want to just revisit that Mike Tyson and Jake Paul fight, bro. That fight was awful. Anybody who watched that, I'm just like curious if you really thought it was going to be a good fight, if you was anticipating a knockout. I'm sorry, but if you were, I kind of think that was just silly. Both guys looked like they were holding back at times where they could have really went full throttle and hurt each other, but it seemed like it was a fight with your uncle who think he still got it, and y'all just put the gloves on and went head to head with some headgear. It wasn't a good fight, but I kind of anticipated it not being a good fight all along, which was why I didn't even bother talking about it on here or hyping it up at all, because no, it was a shame. Anyway, some NBA. I want to give you some of the standings going on in the NBA, because there's a couple teams that are off to a hot start early on. And just want to give you a quick breakdown of who those teams are. So the Cleveland Cavaliers, surprisingly, I don't know how, but they haven't lost a game. They're 15-0, and they've been smacking teams lately. So they're number one in the East, number one in the NBA in general. Then after them, you got the Boston Celtics, who are 11-3 in the Eastern Conference. But above all, man, that Cleveland Cavaliers team has been balling. Crazy. In the Western Conference, you got the Golden State Warriors. They're 10-2. Doing their thing after the Warriors. Then it's the Oklahoma City Thunder. Thunder is 11-3 right now. Then the Houston Rockets are actually off to a pretty good start too. They won 10 games and only lost 4 games so far. But above all, a lot of people are eyeing the Golden State Warriors because not many people expected the Warriors to have much success after losing Klay Thompson. But let's just say that Buddy Hield fit is definitely a great fit for the Golden State Warriors. And then let's go to college football too, because college football had some great games, a couple of good games there to watch. Oregon, they ended up beating Wisconsin in a close game. They won 16-13. Ohio State, they smacked Northwestern 31-7. Texas, they beat Arkansas 20-10. Penn State smacked up Purdue 49-10. Tennessee fell short to Georgia. Tennessee was ranked higher than Georgia prior to this week. Tennessee was at number 7 and Georgia was at number 12. But Georgia ended up winning this game 31-17. Notre Dame, they beat Virginia 35-14. Alabama beat their opponent 52-7. It was a beatdown on all angles. Colorado, they ended up winning another game. They beat Utah 49-24. Clemson, they beat Pittsburgh. Florida, they ended up beating LSU. LSU was a ranked team and Florida was not ranked at all. So this was a huge upset for those LSU fans. They lost 27-16. And then just to give you the rankings as well, because as you know, the rankings always change. I think it comes out actually on Sunday, but some interesting things happened for the rankings. And Oregon still at number 1. Ohio State at number 2, Texas is at number 3, Penn State is at number 4, and Indiana is at number 5. Now, mind you, Indiana still has not lost a game. Some people are calling them frauds. Some people are saying they don't play anybody. But when you look at the point totals from Indiana, I think it's just too great to call Indiana frauds. They're putting up 40, 50 points on teams, smacking conference opponents, and that's still difficult to do. So I understand when people have an easy schedule, you're supposed to win. But bro, you got to give Indiana credit because this team putting up 50 points is not easy. If you were winning games and you were winning by 3 points and 7 points against easy opponents or conference opponents, then I think that's something where you could say, okay, maybe they're not that good. But bro, come on, 40 points, 50 points, 25-point margins. Yeah, Indiana, I think they're a force to be reckoned with. And they're ranked number 5 right now. So I think we'll see them move up. Mind you, they're still undefeated. 3 teams in front of them have lost a game so far. Ohio State, Texas, and Penn State have all lost a game. Oregon is the only undefeated team in top 5 right now, and Indiana is at that top 5, but they should be top 4 because the top 4 is going to have a playoff bye week the first week. Anyway, I talked about a lot about Indiana. Alabama, they moved all the way up to number 7. Don't know how they bounced all the way back up to number 7. Georgia, they moved up to number 8. Miami, they went back up to 11. Tennessee fell down a couple slots. They're at number 10. Boise State, they're solid. They're at number 12 right now. They only lost 1 game. Then you have a couple of other teams. Colorado, they're at number 16, trying to make their way to top 12 to enter the college football playoffs. Colorado only has 2 losses. They're 8-2 right now. But above all, they've been playing some solid football. And I think the only other undefeated team in an AP poll right now is Army. Army is 9-0, and they're ranked 18. All the other teams who are undefeated are top 5 and above, and that's Indiana and Oregon. So you got 3 undefeated teams remaining in the rankings right now. So I'm hoping that we see Army actually, go up and move up in the rankings, because it would be nice to watch them in the playoffs since they are undefeated. So we'll see, man. Definitely some good things from college football, but let's go ahead and move on to the NFL season. I'll give you some recap of the scores that's happening in the NFL. So just to give a quick reminder of the prime time game that happened last night, just in case you didn't get to watch, the Bengals, they ended up losing to the Chargers, and it was a close game here. Bengals, man, they ended up coming back, which was wild. I thought the game was over, then I ended up checked the score, and I seen that it was actually a close game, 27-27 in the 4th, and then Justin Herbert ended up leading his team to a game-winning drive. J.K. Dobbins ended up scoring and giving the Chargers the lead, and then that just pretty much solidified it there for the Chargers to win that ball game. Then you had the Chiefs versus the Bills, as I just talked about. Bills won that game 30-21. That was another great game over in the AFC. Moving to the NFC, Seahawks, they had another game-winning drive. It was some good football, man. They beat the 49ers 20-17, and Geno Smith led his team down on a game-winning drive and beat the 49ers. Crazy, because Geno Smith didn't throw it in there. He ran it in there himself, similar to how we seen Josh Allen run the ball in there himself on that game-winning drive. The Steelers, they ended up beating the Ravens. The Ravens fell short to the Steelers 16-18. Steelers, man, it was just a wild game. They beat the Ravens without scoring a single touchdown this entire game. Crazy. This is like the second or third time the Steelers have done that. They did it in week 1 against my Atlanta Falcons, and then they just did it again against the Baltimore Ravens. So crazy. Everybody who was out there making fun of the Falcons in week 1 and above, talking about, oh, you lost to a team that didn't score. Hey, Ravens, welcome to the club. I'll say that Colts, they beat the Jets in a close matchup, 28-27. Jets are awful right now, 3-8. No way they make the playoffs. It was high hopes for having Aaron Rodgers, but the crazy part is Zach Wilson actually has a higher win percentage with the New York Jets than Aaron Rodgers have with the New York Jets. Crazy. The Rams, they beat the Patriots. Dolphins, they ended up beating the Raiders. Vikings, they beat the Titans. Lions smacked the Jaguars. Another 50-piece on the Jaguars. Crazy they keep doing that. Man, Bears, Packers was a close game. Bears just could not get it done because of a field goal. Once more, they missed the field goal, and that ultimately gave the win to the Packers. So it was a crazy game there. Then you had the Broncos. Man, they smacked up my poor Atlanta Falcons. I could not believe what I was watching. I had to cut it off midway through. Eagles, they beat the Commanders for Thursday night football. And then tonight for Monday night football, tonight we're going to see a great game, hopefully, between the Houston Texans and the Dallas Cowboys. I think the Texans gonna win this game. I don't even know why I hyped it up like that. I really think the Texans just gonna end up smacking the Cowboys. Man, the Cowboys don't have a quarterback, and the Texans, they get Nico Collins back. So I think it's just gonna be a brutal beatdown. Anyway, one of the matchups I was talking about